Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer. A lot of people out there are worried about the rise of artificial intelligence. I'm far more worried about natural stupidity. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at General Orders World War II from Osprey Games.
We'll get back to the review in just a moment. I want to take a minute to ask you to check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about history, books on history, military history. I even post some of my lectures for my classes on there. Please check that out. Please subscribe to that channel. And now, back to the review.
Well, those kooky cats, Trevor Benjamin and David Thompson, are up to their old tricks here with General Orders World War II from Osprey Games. In this one, you take on the roles of various belligerents in World War II. Now, it's not entirely clear if you're the Axis or the Allies or what have you. It's a very abstract version of World War II. It's a very tiny version of World War II. Let's take a look. Now, first of all, there are two sides. You can either be the blue force or the yellow force. And the game board itself represents two different theaters of war. For instance, one side is the mountain theater of war. The other side is kind of the Pacific Islands theater of war. Now, each side is going to have a number of troops. These are little discs. You're going to go ahead and place them near you. And you're going to have a number of commander tokens. You're going to place 5 of these commander tokens kind of off to the side, and then you're going to have kind of the rest in your ready pool. In the Pacific version, you will have aircraft, but more on that later. Now, you're going to have a support board that you're going to place off to the side with some other actions you can take, and you're going to shuffle the theater-appropriate cards into the main deck of cards for your support cards during the game. Now, you can flip the round marker, and whichever side pops up, yellow or blue, that determines who is going to have initiative at the beginning of the game. Now, the game is played over a series of 4 rounds. Now, one side can get victory sooner than that, but generally, you'll play up to 4 rounds. Each round will consist of essentially placing your commander markers, doing the actions, and then recovering your commander markers. Now, each side has an HQ toward their rear, and then in the center, you're going to find a number of spaces that have certain actions you can take, but they will also have kind of victory point icons. Now, you have different actions you can take. Now, essentially, to take an action, you place your command token in the spot that you want to take that action. But for instance, if you want to move your troops into a new space, you would set your command token in the space you want to move into. Those troops can then move into that space. Now, if you move into a space that is occupied by the opposing force, the defending player can go ahead and roll a die. Now, depending on how many pips come up on that die, that is the number of attacking troops that will be eliminated. Now, the die themselves only have 1 or 2 bursts and several sides with none. Now, assuming there are any attacking troops left, you will remove an equal number of defending and attacking units, and then whoever is left will maintain control. Or if no one is left, then no one has control. Now, another action you can do is bombard. Each side on the space has essentially an artillery space. If you control that, you go ahead, you put your bombard, you put your command token on the bombard action there, and that means that you can essentially bombard any space within 3 spaces of that artillery. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll 2 die and pick a space, roll 2 die, and however many pips come up, that is the number of enemy forces that must be removed from that space. Now, one of the things you can do is reinforce. Essentially, there are 2 reinforcement spots on the board. You can do one of those. Whoever does it first can get more reinforcements. But you go ahead, depending on the number it says, you take that number of reinforcements from your pool, and you can place those troops into areas that you control. You can never have more than 3 troops in any one zone. You can do a plan action by placing one of your commander tokens on the support card, and a plan action allows you to draw a number of cards from the deck, and these cards give you various special abilities throughout the game. Now, one of the things you can do with the mountain version too is you can paratroop units. There's certain things that allow you to paratroop units a certain distance away. And in the Pacific region, you also have like kind of these air zones, and you can also control airspaces just like you control land spaces. And in airspaces, you can actually bomb the troops beneath you. So players are going back and forth. They are advancing. They are igniting barrages. They are controlling air spots. They are bombing. They are paratrooping. They're reinforcing. They're drawing cards. They're playing cards. They're doing all of these things in the hopes of either taking out the enemy's headquarters in their rear or trying to take the most victory points. If you can survive 4 rounds and gain the most victory points, then you win. General Orders, World War II. So General Orders World War II. This, when this was first announced, I was super excited because I'm a huge fan of David Thompson and Trevor Benjamin. I mentioned it before when I was teaching at Wyoming last year. In Wyoming last year, Dave Thompson actually came out and did a presentation. It was really a lot of fun. You can see that on the channel here, and I'm a huge fan of his designs, and he's just a hell of a nice guy to boot. But anyway, General Orders World War II, I was excited for not just because I'm a fan of the designers, but also too, it says, it's a worker placement World War II game, and it's not a very big World War II game. In fact, this is the box. It's not big at all. And so I thought, well, this looks like a kind of a fun, little more abstract and quick World War II game. So I figured that idea married to the designers, this thing's got to be great, right? So anyway, we sat down and we played this, and Ray and we played through this a couple of times. And what we found is it does play very quick. There were a few little things we were kind of unsure of at the beginning, but we kind of, deeper reading the rules and stuff, we got it all covered. We got it all figured out. And we're like, okay, wait, this works. And we're playing the game, and it's fast. It's quick. It's like, okay, I'm doing this here. And you are placing those command tokens to claim those areas to move your troops forward. And I should point out there's some other interesting actions and effects that happen, particularly when you gain some of these center areas in the mountain board. And so you're gaining these things, and some of them switch out, from game to game. So there's all sorts of different little things you can do in the game which are unexpected, but it's a puzzle and you're trying to solve this puzzle. It feels very abstract. It feels like it's a very abstract game, and yet this kind of military war theme does come through. I don't know that I'd necessarily say a World War II theme per se, but certainly a military theme does come through here. And then the Pacific side offers a very different challenge. In the mountain side, it's more or less equal. We're both equal distance away from the center. We've got equal chances. Everything's just kind of there and reversed. Our barrages are on the same side, and on the same level on opposite sides. And yet the Pacific version is a little bit different. The one side is kind of trading land for time. It's like further ahead while the other side's trying to kind of advance on it. But there's more opportunities, at least theoretically, for them to get victory points closer to them on the board. But the other side's already there. So it's really interesting, and it's really fun. And the airplanes provide kind of this almost 3-dimensional dynamic to what you're doing, because the air zones are like color coded with the land zones, so you can tell if you control an air zone which land zones you could potentially bomb. So it's really this quick, fun, abstract game with a hint of kind of a World War II theme on there, a military theme. And it was just a delight. Like I said, we played this a few times, and we really ate it up. It's if you're looking, I think, for a game, you want to play a game on game night. First of all, an opener, a 2-player opener, or you're just, you're in the mood to play something, but you don't want to get too bogged down. I mean, this thing plays relatively quickly, and it's thinky, it's abstract to provide you a good puzzle, and you still got dice and card play, and the cards. Oh my gosh, you can't neglect the cards, because you're just, you're thinking, okay, I'm going to attack this person, they're going to roll a dice to stop me. But maybe they might have some special card that allows them to roll 2 dice instead, or do an immediate counterattack. So you ignore the cards at your own peril. Some really great card play here in the game as well. I can't say enough good things about it. This is one of the gems. This is I'm looking at this as a possibility for Game of the Year for 23. It's got some stiff competition, but I'm certainly considering it. I've really enjoyed this one. So a recommendation for the discriminating gamer for General Orders World War II is buy it. Well, thank you once again for joining us on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we ask you to please leave a comment for us on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or on thediscriminatinggamer.com. We'd ask you to please like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter. I'd also ask you to check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about military history, books on history. I post some of my lectures on there. I would ask you to please check that out. Please subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. Also, we'd ask you to leave a thumb to this video on Board Game Geek. Now, if you are a fan of the channel and you like the content we bring you here, we would humbly ask you to go ahead and click on the Super Thanks button on this YouTube page and leave a tip. Well, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Please somebody help me on my feet again. And I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band.
One Japanese reserve must go to the Southwest Pacific Theater, down to Papua New Guinea.
Ooh, good shot.